In our last episode, we reviewed the acronym BREAD, how it's changed in recent history and applies more to foundations but with one tweak. In foundations, the pick order is bombs, removal, evasion, attrition, defense. Click the video link above for a deeper dive into that. In today's episode, we'll review a trophy deck of mine covering my favorite deck in the Foundations format, Blue-Black Control. Along the way, I'll discuss how BREAD applies and give reasonings for my picks. My intent is to make a shorter video, so I'll go through each pick rather quickly. Feel free to ask questions about any picks in the comments below. In our first pick, we see no bombs and 3 removal spells, Slagstorm, Joust Through, and Banishing Light. Slagstorm is perhaps the narrowest removal, as it also hits your own creatures. You'll need to be in a very specific deck to have it work at its best, and it's also in the second weakest color. Joust Through and Banishing Light, on the other hand, are arguably the strongest color, and I'd pick Banishing Light because it can deal with anything. The ability to respond to your opponent's bombs is big in Foundations. Pick 2 is highly debatable. Dracuseth is the most powerful card, but it can be answered. That's why it's only winning at a C clip. Healer's Hawk and Burst Lightning are both winning at a B clip, but Dracuseth can be a win condition. In that aspect, it's a borderline bomb. I go ahead and pick it up as I'd rather secure my threats in BREAD before anything else. In pick 3, the only card that stands out to me is Big Thin Bouncer. It's not really present in my Foundations version of BREAD, but it is a nice enter the battlefield ability for BREAD 2.0. In pick 4, Uncharted Voyage, Think Twice, and Burglar Rat all stand out to me. I picked Burglar Rat here because I like black more than blue. In retrospect, I probably should have picked either the Uncharted Voyage or Think Twice to stay in blue, the same color as my last pick. Uncharted Voyage is a card I like quite a bit, but it is removal that doesn't permanently deal with the threat. Think Twice I like a bit more. Burglar Rat is my favorite of the 3, and we'll see I'm glad I picked it, but if I did this draft again, I would have gone with Think Twice, then Uncharted Voyage, then Burglar Rat, in that order, just to stick to blue. Pick 5, with Essence Scatter and Refute both being here, I'm gonna pick up a blue card. I'm pretty confident I'll be in blue. If I was recording tallies during this draft, you'd clearly see I should pick a blue card. If you're unfamiliar with our tally system, click the video link above to see more. Essence Scatter is the slightly more efficient removal, so I'm taking that here. It is notable that Felidar Savior is here as well, so I'm not yet sure if I'm going to go into blue-white or blue-black. In pick 6, we can continue in blue with a Think Twice, and we're happy to pick that up. In pick 7, the fact that an Eaten Alive is available this late makes me think we're likely to go into blue-black, and we pick that up. The fact that we get a Burglar Rat in pick 8 locks me into blue-black. Moving on to pick 9, for those still overlooking Fake Your Own Death in this set, the card is winning at a C+ clip. It combines great with all the Enter the Battlefield creatures in the set, like Burglar Rat, which we just picked up. Pick 10, we get a Vampire Soulcaller. I like this a little bit more than the Icewind Elemental because the Soulcaller can pick up a bomb that has died previously. Pick 11, we get a potential Revenge of the Rats. Pick 12, there's a dual land in our colors, which further solidifies the fact that we're in the right lane. Pick 13, I pass the red card to my neighbor to signal we're not in red and encourage them to go into red. And last up in pack 1, we get past a Mischievous Pup. In pack 2, we open my favorite rare of the set, Curator of Destinies. While we'd really like Micromancer, BREAD clearly states to take the bombs first, and we do. Pick 2 is perhaps the most interesting pick of the draft. The winningest card of our colors, and one I'd love to wheel, is Refute. But I picked an Eaten Alive over it. I consider both cards removal. While it's right during a close decision to take the card more likely to wheel, I actually think Eaten Alive is more likely to wheel than Refute. I take Eaten Alive because of the cards I already have. I already have a couple of Burglar Rats, and I saw them going late in pack 1. Furthermore, I just passed a Micromancer, and I'd love to get one at some point. Eaten Alive works extremely well with Burglar Rat and Micromancer, so I take that. Pick 3, I'd love Stab, Burglar Rat, or Eaten Alive. I'm going to take removal here, following BREAD. I already have a couple of Eaten Alives, it's time to vary my removal options and take Stab, which is the better card anyways. Pick 4, I pick up a Fleeting Distraction. Boy, I'd love to get a Micromancer. And pick 5, I get another Fleeting Distraction. For those still overlooking Fleeting Distraction, it's winning at a high C clip. See my video above for why I predicted that precise grade during pre-release. Pick 6, I get a Gold Vein pick. I don't plan to play it, but I'm in blue, which has Strix Lookout, and if I pick up some of those in the future, I might consider playing the pick. Pick 7, I pick up an Uncharted Voyage. And pick 8, a Runaway Together. This isn't a card I like very much, but running a one-of when you have a bunch of Enter the Battlefield creatures and bombs you want to save for removal, this can be a decent Swiss Army knife. Pick 9, we get a Crypt Feaster we won't play. Pick 10, we did wheel that Refute we definitely will play. We get a pick 11 Burglar Rat, a Clinquint Sky Mage we won't play, a Secluded Courtyard, and an Island. Pack 3, we open up another banger of a pack. Again, while we'd love the Micromancer and also the Vampire Nighthawk, Sphinx of the Forgotten Lore is a bomb I'm not passing up. My pick order for our deck would be Sphinx, Micromancer, Nighthawk. In pick 2, Seeker's Folly is tempting, but I'd rather keep securing Burglar Rats as 2-drops that also count as fodder for my Eaten Alives, so I take the Burglar Rat. Pick 3, we pick up another Think Twice. Pick 4, we're thrilled to see Vampire Gourmand, which is great with all our Burglar Rats. Pick 5, we get another Burglar Rat. Pick 6, we get another Fake Your Own Death. Ravenous Amulet is another consideration with all of our Burglar Rats, but I consider Fake Your Own Death enough better to take. Pick 7, we get our Micromancer. Pick 8, we get a Siphoner we won't play, and then a Crypt Feaster we won't play. The Seeker's Folly did wheel and we'll play that. We get a Pilfer we could consider playing. For those underestimating Pilfer, it's winning at a C+ clip. It's good because Foundations is all about going toe-to-toe with your opponent, saving removal for threats you don't have answers for, and trying to ensure your opponent doesn't have answers to your threats. I considered making an episode on how to play Pilfer. Basically, take the card you least see yourself having an answer for. But in cases where you can answer all of them, take the card they're likely to play next turn. Making them waste a turn or have a less efficient turn is a good use of Pilfer. Pick 12, while there's another Pilfer, I'd rather shore up my mana at this point. I'd take the blue-black dual land. Then we get a red card we won't play. And last pick, we're gifted the Amulet at the end. The Amulet is a card that's likely to have very differing opinions. Cards like that are often because they can work in very specific decks. Remember that we picked up 5 Burglar Rats and 2 Fake Your Own Deaths. While Amulet is only winning at a D+ clip, it's in decks like ours where it can be reasonable playable. Now let's review our final deck. We have 13 2-drops, 2 of which draw us a card, so we can easily go down to 16 lands. Even Fake Your Own Deaths can help with the mana. See our episode on mana basis in the link above if you want to understand that reasoning better. Our plan is to play Burglar Rats and Removal until we have such a card advantage over our opponent that we can land our bombs in Sphinx or Curator. If they can deal with the bombs, we can protect them with Runaway Together or bring them back with Vampire Soulcaller. The deck went 7-2 and is my favorite kind of deck in Foundations, both from a performance perspective and because it's been fun getting back to more viable control decks in Foundations. Stay tuned for next time when we'll go over our thoughts on Pioneer Masters spoilers. See you then.